What's up, nail geeks? I am back again with Glam Polish's newest set. This is the Totally 80s collection, and they are inspired by popular 80s movies. So as we go through the video, be sure to post in the comments what the inspirations were for each of these. I think the names are so cute and these polishes fit very well into their inspirations. So this time I have all 10 polishes in the collection to show you all, so let's dive right in. So first off, we have Say Hello to My Little Friend. This is described as a black jelly with aurora shimmer and metallic red glitter mix. So the formula on this one is definitely, I would agree with the official description, for being a jelly-like polish. So for full opacity on it, I'm going to suggest between 2 and 3 coats. Now, as I was recording this one for the video, I did take it up to 3 coats on it, and I thought it plumped out very nicely and built up very easily. So on this first coat here, it does look just a touch sheer, but it builds up very quickly. Now this one is loaded with those metallic red glitters in it. I didn't have any problems with texture or, needing a special top coat or anything, though it does dry down pretty flat. So I would recommend a good glossy top coat with it. And honestly, I didn't have any texture problems or anything like that. On the third coat, I think it really starts giving that nice squishy, juicy-like factor with it, and you'll get a smattering of those glitters. Now in person, you can see that there is a touch of aurora shimmer in here. It does give a bit of a green lean on very extreme angles, but I think what you'll mostly see with it is that blackened base with the red glitters. And next, as we came, we saw We Kicked Its Ass. This is a bright green with iridescent flakies and shifting multi-chrome flakies. So I really like the flaky mixture in this one. You'll get a bit of a iridescent-like feel, but you'll also get that nice shifty multi-chrome effect too. That base color is what I would describe as a true slimy type of green. This is what I would compare to maybe even like a Nickelodeon slime green. It's coming off just a little bit on the neon side on the video, so please note it's definitely a little bit deeper than that. I would not classify this one as a neon, however it is very vibrant and very true green in person. So this has a bit of a creamy formula to it, so it applies somewhat Crowley like, but it self-levels very nicely and it builds up and has just a bit of that squish factor to kind of give a little bit of pushback on your brush. Really nice application and build-up factor happening with it. Now this one also dries down on the flat side, so again I'm going to recommend a really good glossy top coat and you'll get really nice smooth finish, especially from those flakes. And next is I'm Not Bad, I'm Just Drawn That Way. This is described as a magenta jelly with iridescent flakies and ultra hollow glitter. So the formula on this is very similar to the green I just showed you guys. It's got a strong squishy-like factor to it and it builds up very quickly on the nail. This is gorgeous. Now the base color, I knew this one was going to come off a little finicky on the video and my swatches, so I want to note that on my monitor this is looking really fiery. In person and in real life, it is a true magenta. So it's got that really nice cool tone type of effect, but it's a little bit on the warm side as well. Really true magenta. It's very, very vibrant in person, but like I said, it's not this fiery shade that you're seeing on the video. It is gorgeous and it is just so flattering. I think this is one of those polishes that's going to flatter just about any skin tone. It's really something to see in person. Again, I apologize about the color accuracy on this one, but true magenta happening here. So this is packed full of flakes. You'll get a really nice opalescent type of effect in person, and they take on more of this type of depth-like appearance with it. And next we have Are We Going to Prom or to Hell? This is a dark indigo jelly with aurora shimmer and ultra hollow glitter. This is really something else. I feel like the video is being a little bit subtle on what you're going to see on the shimmer. So in person, the shimmer is very prominent and it comes off as this really nice, strong, coppery-like effect. And at very extreme angles, you'll see a really nice green shift with it. So there's also those tiny little holographic glitters in this one. They are of what I would consider a finer particle. So you get that really light but really obvious subtle twinkle happening across your nails. So the formula on this one is definitely jelly, true to the description. I do agree with that. And it builds up very quickly for opacity. It's got a really nice smooth consistency when you're polishing, almost like a liquefied glass type of effect, if you will. Now, I would recommend another really good glossy top coat for this one, as it does dry down a little bit on the flat side, and you're going to want to really exploit that shimmer. And next is I'll have what she's having. This is a white Crowley with Aurora shimmer and ultra hollow glitter. So this one has a really lovely formula to it as well. Really nice Crowley type feel. It's got quite a bit of a squish factor to it, but it's also really smooth on your brush strokes. Now, per usual, I give my bottles a good shake before applying, and I had no problems getting those glitters out of the bottle and onto my nails, and it just self-levels really nicely. Now, on this first coat here, you can see I'm having just a little bit of a balding issue with the glitters on it. Go in lightly, as the glitters are a little bit heavier, and you'll have no issues with it. Now this one also dries down pretty much on the flat side too, though I do want to note that in terms of the glitters used in this one, I didn't really have a problem with texture. Just use a really good glossy top coat and it'll smooth everything out really nicely. And if you have a really prominent free edge like myself, you might need a third thin coat for it, just to kind of cover everything up. Of course, if you prefer to do, say, 2 coats, then you might need a color correcting base. Definitely up to your preference. Now the shimmer in it is on the subtle side, so I do want to note, I think what you'll see mostly is going to be popping out with those glitters. And next is Never Feed Him After Midnight. This is a light brown Crowley with Aurora shimmer and ultra hollow glitter. So this type of light brown type of shade, I feel like on myself, given that I'm very medium toned with a lot of yellow undertones to my skin, I felt like it really popped as a neutral against me. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I feel like it's going to lean a little bit more as a nude if you have medium to deep skin tones. So I'm really going to depend on your undertones for how this one's going to look, in my opinion. So the shimmer in this one is really strong. You'll get a really nice coppery-like effect with it. And of course, at very extreme angles, you'll see a nice green shift come out to play. And this one also has those really fine types of glitter particles in it to give you that really tiny little twinkling effect from them. So the formula on this one is excellent. It's very creamy, very smooth on application. I think most are going to be able to get away with 2 coats on it. Of course, if you have longer nails, you might need that 3rd coat. And next we have Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? This is a light gold hollow with shifting multi-chrome flakies and ultra hollow glitter. So way back in the day, I remember Glam used to do a lot of these holographic type polishes with flakes in them. I think she does them very, very well, and I'm really excited to see one in this collection. So this is another one that I think, depending on your skin tone, it might lean a little bit more on the champagne or even neutral side, as it did with me. But there's a ton of holographic effect to this one. It's pretty much a linear in my opinion. And the flakes are prominent, they're all over the place, and you'll get that really nice colorful shifty effect from them. Now this one also dries down once again on the flat side, so again I'm going to recommend a really good glossy top coat. And the flakes themselves behave really metallic-like in that they adhere very well to your nail, so you're not going to get any texture or anything like that from it. Really nice application overall, and it's got just a bit of a almost metallic feel, which in my opinion is characteristic of like super holographic type of polishes. And at very extreme angles, you'll see a bit of a green type of shift happening with it too. And next is Where We're Going, We Don't Need Roads. This is a blurple jelly with iridescent flakes and ultra hollow glitter. Now you can see on that bottle shot, this definitely looks like a very deep, rich purple, but as you can see on the brush, it's coming off really, really blue. So I found that when I applied it, it applied somewhat blue on the first coat. So this is what I would definitely consider as a blurple type of polish. It's almost like a thermal, if you will, in that depending on how you wear it in your coats, it's going to depend on how blue or how purple it's going to look. I want to note, when you build it up, I think it's going to appear so much more as a blurple, so right in between blue and purple, as opposed to what you're seeing in the bottle. So I think this is just one of those polishes that really represents why we need swatches, because what it looks like in the bottle and versus what I'm seeing once I apply it onto my nails is really interesting. Definitely characteristic of blurples. So depending on your lighting, it might lean a little more blue, might lean a little more purple, but I do feel like what you're seeing on the hand shot here is what I'm seeing in person. And next is Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner. This is a light pink Crowley with Aurora Shimmer and Ultra Hollow Glitter. This is safely one of my top picks in the collection. It's really pretty, very delicate, and very, very flattering. I really like soft baby pinks like this. Now, the formula on it, in my opinion, is somewhat Crowley-like, though I do feel like it behaves more like a jelly. There's a very strong squish factor with it, and it builds up really nicely, but I want to note, I would classify this as more of a more sheer type of shade. It's very delicate. And if you have a prominent free edge like what I do, then as you build it up, you might see just a touch of your smile line. So I took it up to 3 coats just to see what it's going to look like, how different it's going to be between 2 and 3 coats. And in very bright lights, I did see just a touch of my smile line. Of course, if that bothers you, then I would recommend a color correcting base coat and you'll be good to go. Otherwise, this is a really nice, very shimmery, very flattering, soft, somewhat sparkly shade. And finally, we have Goonies Never Say Die. This is a black jelly with iridescent flakes and neon glitter mix. This one is super fun, really reminds me of definitely the 80s, really, really nice glitter mix on this one. So the base color itself is definitely a true stark black, and as you build it up, you'll easily see the little neon glitters in it. You'll get a really nice mix. No issues with fishing or needing for placement. You'll get a really nice mix of them on your brush. So on this one, I'm going to suggest, again, between 2 and 3 coats, and I think everyone's going to be just fine. It plumps out very nicely. And for this, I didn't really have any problems in terms of texture, but I was using a really good, somewhat thicker glossy top coat for this video, and I had no issues with that. So as you can see between my coats, it does dry down quite a bit on the flat side, so you're going to want to gloss this one up really well. Now overall, this does have a really nice self-leveling formula to it. It builds up really lovely, as you can see on the second coat here, and no problems whatsoever. I just really liked how, even though that base color is so dark, you can really see those glitters very, very well against that dark base. So super, super fun. Now, the Totally 80s collection will release July 31st at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, I will link you guys below to Glam Polish's shop if you want to check that out. And there's also going to be a promo for this release too. So for the first 72 hours of release, you can save 5% off all individual shades in the store with the code TOTALLY5, or 10% off all full collections in the store with the code TOTALLY10. I'll break all that down below in the description box for you guys, and I'll link you guys to Glam Polish's Facebook group if you want to check out additional swatches and all that good stuff. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.